Hello, my name is David Key. I'm a certified clinical musician and one of the therapeutic musicians of Coastal Carolina. I put together this short video as part of the training videos in the trainings playlist that's found at our YouTube channel. I just wanted to talk a little bit about sound and science and sound. So let me share with you a bit of a PowerPoint that I put together. And here we see Oliver Sacks from Musicophilia 2007 book. The power of music to integrate and cure is quite fundamental. It is the profoundest non-chemical medication. Someone of science who is saying that. So it's not just those of us who are therapeutic musicians working bedside, having the experiences we have. Science also is beginning to come around. Last 20 years, 15 years, and especially the last 10 years, there have been numerous studies done connecting music used in a therapeutic way to the health benefits of patients and residents. Now, science has been using sound in particular ways for a little while now. Sonograms, breaking up kidney stones, treating cancer, more recently using particular frequencies to help those who are suffering from brain trauma. Sound is being used for virtual palpitation at Duke University in a non-invasive way to diagnose the liver, and in places in Paris it's used to assess blood vessels intravascularly using sound. Therapeutic musicians are usually dealing with aspects of the sympathetic nervous system response at play for those we're playing for, that fight, flight, or freeze system, that response that we tend to hang on to for way too long, produces negative and toxic cortisol and epinephrine, and adrenaline is pumping, and there's a lot of stress going on. We are trying to shift our residents and patients bedside into a parasympathetic nervous system response, the relaxation response, producing beneficial endorphins, can regulate and deepen breathing and heart rate and pulse, and we are able to help the recipient shift into a healing alpha or theta brainwave state. So we do this through resonance and entrainment. And resonance can be understood rather simply by thinking of someone playing an open note on a guitar, just one string like the G string, with another guitar close by. The G string on the other guitar will begin to vibrate because those frequencies match. And so we are able to attune to the patient that we're sitting bedside with, providing therapeutic music for, and through resonance and entrainment, create some shifts. Entrainment was first discovered by a gentleman, what is his name? Dutch physicist, Christian Huygens. That's why I can't remember the name, sorry. But he was around during the time of Isaac Newton, and he was the first one to build the grandfather clocks with the pendulums. And he had a number of these grandfather clocks in a room and had set the pendulums, each of them swinging in their own way, went away for the night, came back the next day, and found that they were all in sync, that all the pendulums were moving together, even though they had started off not in sync, all in sync to the largest pendulum, the largest grandfather clock. And he found out it was because the vibrations were traveling through the wall and being picked up by the other clocks, by the other grandfather clocks. So I have a short video that demonstrates this using a number of metronomes. Very striking to not only watch what happens with these half-dozen metronomes starting off out of sync and then coming into complete synchronization, but to also listen to the sound as that happens. So the gentleman doing this has the metronome set up on a very light sort of foundation so that the vibrations will travel, and then he enhances it by placing that kind of styrofoam runner on top of empty cans, which also reinforces the vibration and helps the synchronization to happen even more easily. And you can hear it near the end, really coming into perfect synchronization. And those metronomes will stay that way. It's just a natural thing for them to do that. And that's the thing, it's a natural process, this entrainment process that therapeutic musicians tap into. It's a very powerful thing. It's not only metronomes, but it's also natural things as well, including our heart rate, breathing rate, and brainwave activity, which all will entrain with each other. And we see here an example of entraining to rhythm, where we have a Parkinson's patient who starts off with a very unsteady gait, and then after some music gets started and he gets entrained to the beat and the rhythm of the music, you see he has quite a steady gait. In fact, he looks rather dance-like. His whole body loosens up, relaxes, and moves along with that steady gait that he now has.
You had to pick up some tennis balls. Forgot about that. Okay, so now we're going to do gait training with music. Everybody's got cell phones. Everybody nowadays has music on their phone, so this is kind of a real easy way to do it. Let's stand here for a minute. We'll get the rhythm. Once we feel it, then we'll take off.
Wonderful example of entrainment to rhythm. Entrainment is not limited to physical aspects. It also involves the brain. The human brain vibrates at different frequencies depending on the level of activity at the time. And we're looking usually to induce a more relaxed alpha or theta state, and I'll show you those brainwave states in a moment. And also, there is this wonderful ability to access the brain through music in general. Daniel J. Levitin said in his book, This is Your Brain on Music, that we are all wired for music, and indeed it's a universal thing. So if I play for a patient who has dementia or Alzheimer's, and I play something that they recognize, even if they're in this nearly comatose state, not moving, not responding, not connecting, that music will bring them alive. I encourage you to take a look at a short video clip we have at our YouTube channel that shows Henry, one of these patients, and that effect that happens. And that video you just saw of the Parkinson's patient, we have a little bit longer one if you want to see a little more of that. So entrainment also deals with the brain, and the brainwave state is just an indication of, how much activity is happening, how much electrical activity, which means there's a vibration going on from the slowest delta state where we're sleeping in a deep sleep up to beyond the beta state where we are active to the gamma state where it's kind of a heightened perception, heightened activity. And you see in the middle alpha and theta, slower, more relaxed brainwave states, meditative state, and even a deep meditative state, a creative space. Those are the areas that we're able to resonate to, that patients are able to shift into because of the resonance factor and the entrainment factor. So therapeutic musicians are going to be playing music and sounds bedside that entrain the brain to shift into those relaxed states where some self-healing can actually be accessed. I encourage you to take a few moments now as I just play a little bit of an audio clip. This is Carol Green, one of the members of our Therapeutic Musicians of Coastal Carolina, playing a recognizable melody, a bit of a lullaby sort of sound to it, and of course she's doing that in a purposeful way. So allow yourself to take some slow, deep breaths. Just doing that is going to help you shift that brainwave state and help your heart rate to relax down, your breathing to slow and steady, and you'll also find that you go into that relaxation response. Very relaxing and very peaceful. Helps induce relaxation and peace in ourselves as we listen to it. I hope a little bit of this info helps you to understand some of the science behind sound. There's so much more out there that's being discovered and rediscovered and supports the work that we do as therapeutic musicians.